Hey team, so I wanted to go over long runs. Are they essential or are they overrated? A lot of runners are always wondering and always asking me, what is the real benefits of doing long runs? It doesn't matter if you're training for a middle distance event or you're training for the marathon distance. Long runs are absolutely essential, okay? You have to get to a point where you're getting used to being, getting accustomed to being uncomfortable for long periods of time. There is no way around a great athletic performance without doing long runs, okay? And again, it really comes down to your overall goals as an athlete. If your goal is just, even if your goal is just to start and finish a 10K or to start and finish a half marathon, long runs are gonna help you to build that endurance, to build that stamina that you're going to need in order to succeed, okay? And the faster you're trying to run, maybe you're a 2-hour half marathoner right now and you want to get to a point where you can run 2 back-to-back half marathons and break the 4-hour marathon distance. If you're not doing long runs, if you're just lukewarm about the process, you're just going to get lukewarm results. Okay, at the end of the day, it's did you get to the finish line in your goal time or not? Did you achieve your goal or not? And how long were you willing to put in the work in order to get to that particular goal? A lot of times we want things, but the problem is we don't always realize to the extent of the hard work that we're going to have to put in order to achieve that particular goal. Long runs will teach you not only to build that endurance that you need, but also once you get in the habit of not just running slow and easy every single weekend, you're gonna get much, much stronger, not only physiologically, but you're gonna get a lot stronger up here, okay? Because it's already hard enough to go out and run long runs to build that endurance that you need for shorter races like the 5K or longer races like the 10-mile, 25K, half marathon or marathon distance. And I think from experience, from things that I've dealt with over the years, I knew for me to make jumps in my capability in the middle to long distance events, I had to get used to doing long runs and on a routine basis because I knew my competition, for one, was going to do it. And if I didn't put in the work and if I wasn't consistent on the weekends putting in the long runs, I knew someone that I was competing against was going to do it. And so, it's not an issue of this is essential or overrated. If you want legitimate results, you're going to have to get in the habit of getting uncomfortable and getting used to being uncomfortable for long periods of time. I wish there was an easy process to become a better middle to long distance runner, but there isn't, okay? There's nothing easy about excellence. Of course, we all have a choice in this life. We can be average, we can be good, or we can be great. And each one of those particular levels of commitment are going to require some things out of you. Okay, even to be average, you still have to put in some form of work. Okay, to be good or great in this sport, you have to put in so much more than I think you currently even realize. And I certainly had to accept that as well. When I was in college, I wanted to break 14 minutes for 5,000 meters, and I wanted to do it when I was in college. I never broke 14 minutes. I ran 14:18 on the roads, but just dealing with that and accepting the fact that, hey, the things that I want may not happen in the time frame that I want, but I'm willing to put in the work and be willing to put in those long runs, be willing to put in those track sessions, those hill repetitions, being uncomfortable for long periods of time, getting out there in inclement weather, in the pouring rain, in hot and humid conditions, being out there when there wasn't athletes on the track or on the roads next to me pushing me to my limit. There were times where I had to do that myself. And so long runs will definitely prepare you to deal with the stressors you're going to be dealing with in training. And I talk about getting beyond, just like I mentioned earlier, getting beyond just running long, slow, and easy long runs on the weekends. Because again, you want to build your endurance, but you also want to build your stamina and your strength that you're absolutely going to need in these longer races. So long runs are definitely essential. They're not overrated. I think the athletes, if if you're not doing those long runs on a consistent basis versus your competition that is, in most cases, it's going to be very hard to hold and sustain your goal race pace over the entire distance of your particular race. And again, when I say doing varied pace long runs, changing up the intensities of the miles and kilometers that you're running throughout your long run, that will help to improve your body's lactate tolerance and be able to even at times to recruit more fast twitch muscle fibers. Because even during some of my long runs, long run was without a doubt the hardest workout that I did. There were times during my long runs I would drop sub 5 minute miles in the middle of a 20 to 24 mile long run. One of my favorites was to run sub 6 minute pace, but every fourth mile I would do a sub 5 minute mile, and this was at altitude. So I would run running in the 550s, 540s per mile pace, then run a 452 to a 455 or 457 range mile every fourth mile of my 20 to 24 mile long run. Those types of workouts help me to eventually go from being a 243 marathoner running 614 mile pace down to running 519 mile pace for the 26.2 mile distance. It didn't happen overnight, but those types of long runs help me to, over time, to be able to sustain that type of pace, but also to deal with that type of pain. And I think that whether you're a 5-hour marathoner or you're a 50-minute 10K athlete aiming for breaking 40 minutes, you have to continue. If you continue to do this on a routine basis and you stay committed and you do these long runs, but you mix up. You run easy one weekend, the following weekend you run a varied pace long run. You give yourself 2 to 3 days, even 3 days of easy running after you do that varied pace long run, because I promise you, you're going to need between 48 hours to 72 hours of easy recovery jogging or running after you do that particular effort. A lot of runners, they have gotten in the habit of running slow and easy for their long runs during the weekends. They do their track workouts, they do hill repetitions, they do everything right, but their long runs are just too aerobic for too many weeks. And I think that was a problem that I had. I was wondering, man, how do I go from running 243 to my personal goal? My long-term goal was breaking 2 hours and 22 minutes. And I kept seeing myself doing it. That's why I always preach the importance of visualizing yourself doing something that you want to do well before it actually occurs. And so in my mind, I was breaking 222 all the time. I would see 221.59 on the clock, seeing myself performing well, passing people, getting across the finish line in my goal time. But in the physical reality, it wasn't happening yet. And so I had to make some of those adjustments. One of the major adjustments I made was doing faster varied pace long runs every other weekend. Okay, so if you have not done that, I would consider giving it a shot, but don't start doing these varied pace long runs until you've spent at least 4 to 6 weeks of easy aerobic mileage running easy long runs first. You have to adapt to, one, you have to strengthen your tendons, your ligaments. Physiologically, you have to build that aerobic fitness first before you start moving into specific marathon training or 10K training or 5K training, whatever your particular distance is. You have to have a process in mind and don't just jump the gun, and another thing is don't get too anaerobically fit too soon as well. Okay? If you're training for these longer races, my advice is to give yourself between 4 to 6 months of preparation. The longer you can give yourself, the better. I always tell my half marathon athletes and marathon athletes, 20 to 24 weeks is the way to go. Because again, it takes about 28 days for your body to adapt to each specific stressor you're placing on it. And if you give yourself a longer buildup, you're not going to be rushed versus doing, say, an 8-week or 12-week buildup. So again, it just depends on the athlete. If you're just trying to start and finish a 10K or just try to start and finish a half marathon, 12 weeks is a solid amount of time. 3 months of training, being consistent with your mileage, getting some faster threshold training workouts in, a little bit of VO2 max training in. But the faster you're trying to run, the more that's going to be required out of you. I promise you, it's not going to be an easy process. But if you're consistent with your long runs and you make this a consistent part of your training, which every middle to long distance runner athlete should, and you make it an essential part, and you don't think of it as a overrated thing to do, you're going to make some massive gains in your overall fitness. Okay, because again, you've built your strength, you've built your endurance, and you've put in the heavy work that's needed to make it to the next level. Okay, if you're average right now and you want to get to good, and you're dreaming about getting to great, keep being consistent. Be tenacious about what you're doing, and you're going to do it. Okay, if you have any other questions about long runs, feel free to leave me a comment below. Check out the resources on RunDreamAchieve.com. Thank you so much for your support. Thanks for liking and sharing my videos. I really appreciate it. And I'll talk to you guys and gals all in the next video.